Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're back with William McKissock from Schooley Mitchell, and he's going to be sharing with us once again some amazing expense-saving tips. As you're watching this, make sure you check out the YouTube channel that William has, and make sure you go in and like, comment, and share on these various videos. There is a wealth of knowledge there about expense savings and things that you can learn and things you can use in your business to help you drive that bottom line profit number and certainly incur substantial expense savings. So thank you, William. It's such a pleasure to be here with you. I look forward to these sessions so much. And I love that you always start off with just a brief statement of what you do at Schooley Mitchell.
Yes, no, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say what I say, to say what I do. And again, last call, I gave a quick shout out to you. Quick shout out to you. Thank you for doing this. Quick shout out to the fact that you're the retail expert in all of Tampa Bay, all of the United States. Anybody who wants to improve their retail space, be more knowledgeable about their retail space, save money, be more profitable, speak to Patty about retail. So I just want to get that bit out of the way. Yeah, a reminder of what we do. We are Schooley Mitchell, North America's largest independent expense reduction consulting company. So we go into businesses and we audit their costs in specific areas: telecom, credit card processing, shipping, waste, utilities, e-signature, and fuel. We do an independent separate audit for each one or all of those categories. And what we're doing is we're looking at your billing statements, we're understanding your business needs, and we produce an audit report for free, no cost, and we'll show you where you're spending your money versus where we recommend. If we don't find savings, you don't pay us. Even if we do find savings and you don't like what we recommend, you don't pay us. You only pay us a share of the savings on accepted recommendations. There's only two outcomes of working with us. We'll either confirm you've got the best prices and services possible for free, or we save you money and our fees are a share of those savings.
You know, it's fascinating to me week to week to listen to you talk, and we have an endless list of topics. And just a quick shout out to our viewers and our listeners. If you do have a suggestion on a topic you'd like for us to cover, please put it in the comment section, because we'll be happy to cover that topic. But every time we talk, we come up with something different to talk about. And these topics just seem to emerge through the course of the conversation in just ways that can really save organizations just significant amounts of money, and certainly, once again, drive that bottom line profit number. And the thing we wanted to cover and talk about today was telecom and all the aspects of information traffic. And the thing, you know, for the ordinary person such as myself, when I think about telecom, I think about phone systems, communication, things like that. But I know there's a lot more to it. And I would love to hear you talk a little bit more about that, because I think it's a really worthwhile education for all of us to have.
Yeah, I mean, when I talk about the categories, telecom, credit card processing, et cetera, I often find myself, I have to kind of stop at telecom before I go and explain the other categories, because people's got an idea of telecom. They might think that's my cell phones or that's my phones, and that's really what they think of. There's a lot more to the telecom category that we look at as an expense for business. So, I mean, I'll go through a list of them. Here's the areas in telecom that we look at. So your phones, your desk phones, your landline phones, whether it be analog or whether it be a voice over IP, we want to look at those costs, negotiate with your vendors for you. So also we're trying to make sure that you have the right service that's needed for your business. And we do that with all the categories. So if you think of landline, think of your cell phones. If you've got thousands of members of staff and you need them to be mobile and you need them to be communicating with your company the whole time, you need cell phones. So cell phones is a huge expense to a lot of businesses. And to be honest, it's one of the biggest areas we find savings in. It's one of the most costly areas in telecom for businesses that have a lot of cell phones. That tends to be a really high expense for them. So to have us in your corner, negotiating with the vendors, always having our finger on the pulse on your behalf, and to help you with that kind of really tied up in knot space, because the cell phone part of telecom can be quite complicated. And also, if you're a company that's got lots of vehicles on the road, you're going to have vehicle tracking devices. Most businesses won't have their vehicles out there without tracking devices. And that's similar to your cell phone plans. Your Sprint, your AT&Ts and other companies, Verizon Connect will offer these services, and they'll offer you units to track your vehicles. That comes with cost, but within the vehicle tracking, you have to look at the plan that you're paying for, and we help with that as well to make sure. So what is it you want to know? You want to know where your people are, you want to know when they're stopping, when they're starting, you want to know how much fuel they're using. All these kind of things fall into that tracking category. So it's important to have somebody in your corner that can identify the best deals for you, but also get you the best prices that fits the services of your business. And then even the internet costs or anything that, like this, video conferencing, they can be a huge expense to businesses. And so it's our job to make sure you have the right service and the right needs for your business. It's not just a case of saying, here's an internet connection, here's a video conference package, there you go, it's cheaper, enjoy it. We have to make sure it's fit for purpose. And although businesses are good at talking to the vendors and getting what they need, we bring an added layer to the table because we don't sell widgets. We don't have a business as well as negotiate with the vendors. We only negotiate with the vendors. That's all we do all day long with over 25,000 clients. And another area that you and I touched on before we started the recording of this call is like, especially with telecom, over and above all the other categories, telecom is where the even more value of having us stay in your corner over that period of time. Because if you think about it, one of the biggest stories come out of telecom recent years was the merger between Sprint and T-Mobile. That's mergers and acquisitions. That's changes to the telecom environment. That's changes to the technology within the telecom environment. So there's all these changes, mergers, acquisitions. There's loads of stuff happening in the background that you, as a business, don't always have the time or the knowledge to be able to stay on top of that pulse. We do. As I say, we don't sell widgets. We don't sell any services. We don't work for the vendors. We don't sell their services. We only negotiate for our clients. So to have somebody's finger on the pulse because of the way we get paid in installments and continuing reporting is even more vitally important than it is for the other categories. Not saying that it's not vitally important, but it's kind of, there's more complication within the telecom remit, the telecom category. So therefore, we possibly bring even more value to the table because of that ongoing staying in your corner, looking at what's going on outside the borders of your business.
You know, that's interesting you're talking about all that, because we did a session on the customer experience and how it really ties back to expense management and so on and so forth. And all these things that you're talking about today tie directly back into that customer experience, because for somebody to know where their truck is so that goods are getting to where they need to be is really important for that customer experience. Having phone systems that actually work is going to be good for that customer experience. Having video conferencing, having internet, having all of those things is going to really just drive the customer experience in all those cases. Fascinating to listen to you talk. And then that leads me into the customer experience for the telecom services that are out there and thinking, you know, what do you need? And I know when I was searching for my personal cell phone usage recently was, you know, I looked at one company and I looked at their service on it. It was not highly recommended for them to use them. They said instead, just go to the parent company and go straight to T-Mobile. So I went straight to T-Mobile and got much better service. Are there things like that you see out there?
Yeah, I mean, recently we took a report to a client who was using Verizon. So they've got offices and they've got vans all over the country, all over the state. They've got offices in Tampa, Orlando, and Jacksonville. So we were looking at their telecom needs. And so we negotiated with Verizon. Here's the best deal we could negotiate with Verizon. But here's a couple of other deals. They could find a ton of savings by switching providers. And again, the client gets to decide whether they want to do that or not. But in this case, the client decided to stay with Verizon, even though the savings weren't as great as at the time T-Mobile was one of the other options, or even AT&T. They felt that they wanted to have, in some areas, which was the best service, because this is the thing you have to look at when you're looking at cell phone plans, is that what is your business needs? Is your guys traveling out into the sticks a lot? So some people prefer to have Verizon for that purpose because Verizon is known to have the widest network. Having said that, because of the merger between Sprint and T-Mobile, they've now got a huge network. And AT&T have always been they've always been on top of their game in the service they provide in relation to the signal to be received. Because I've been an AT&T customer for almost 11 years, for almost the whole time I've been in this country. I've been an AT&T customer and I love the service. So again, for a business, sometimes when we're showing options, the client takes that into account. I don't care if it's cost me a little bit more, but you know what? I had the best service that I've ever needed with AT&T, with that client, with Verizon. So we provide the options for the client. We provide the knowledge of what's going on within those industries. We can even pull out maps and we can show the client, here's what the service looks like in those zip codes and all those areas that you operate in. And we've done that for quite a number of clients where they have trucks and people all over the place with their vehicle tracking devices and their cell phones. So that's a lot of stuff that you have to take into account. But a lot of it comes down to choice and your experience. Because some people say they love T-Mobile, some people say they hate T-Mobile, some people say they love AT&T, some people say they hate AT&T, some people say they love Verizon. And another company out there right now, Spectrum. I'm not blowing anybody's trumpet. I'm not here to promote any other businesses. But Spectrum's offering a good deal right now for mostly residential customers, and they tap into the Verizon network. So if you're buying a Spectrum phone, you're buying into the Verizon network. So if you love Verizon, Spectrum's a large telecom company, telecommunications company. That might be an option for you. So we would look at options and we show clients, here's what's on the table for you, and then let you make your decide. And we'll provide a wealth of information with our finger firmly on the pulse to show you what options are there and to give you something to choose from.
Yeah, that's so interesting. And it's just fascinating how this all works and how there's so many moving pieces with it, because there's that expression, Pennywise and a dollar short. And so when you're talking about who's really going to offer the best service and the best package, that can be something to really take into consideration with it. I mean, I know we're all so much on video these days. Clearly, that's how we're doing this. And so, you want to have a good video network that's reliable. And I think we've all done different things on WebEx and Zoom and Microsoft Teams. And I mean, the list just goes on and on of the different things that are out there right now, but you need the one that is going to be reliable.
Yeah, and it's sometimes the one that works for you to use. The video conference, for example. When Zoom started and we all started using video conferencing more often, I was using 8x8. Some people love 8x8. It didn't work for me. I preferred Zoom. Other business people I communicate with, or if I jump onto their calls, they're using Teams. I personally don't like Teams. I don't think the video is as good as Zoom. In my headquarters, Schooley Mitchell, as we know, we're a franchise. We've got a team of headquarters. They use WebEx. I personally don't think WebEx is the best service for me, but who am I to argue if another company and another person is using it and it's working perfectly for them? Again, with telecom, you have to take all that into account. It's not always about cost. It's not always about cost for any of the categories, because we want to make sure our clients have the best service that fits their needs and their preferences. That's almost an added layer, their needs and their preferences. Because we'll go to some clients and they'll say, like, I use FedEx, I'll never, ever, ever use UPS. Never, ever, ever. Or I use Frontier, I'll never, ever, ever use Spectrum. I'm just using the different categories to give you a different example. Even though we can show them, like, it's actually a better service over there and it's going to save you some money. I've been with AT&T for my entire life and I'm never switching. You have to take into that account, because people get used to what they know, and sometimes they're reluctant to do something that's different, even though it saves them a ton of money. But that's our job, is to educate people what the options are. Give people the options and let them know the pros and cons, and then they can make the decision. In telecom, there's more pros and there's more cons collectively together than there is with the other categories. There's so many moving parts in telecom.
Yeah, it's fascinating to listen to you talk, and it just, what you're talking about certainly leads into other things. And I think it would be probably worthwhile for us to have another conversation about how you not only save people in expenses, but really helping them find the best service to fit their needs. I think that could be another really good conversation for us to have. But as we talk each time, we always do a fun fact, and I know what today's fun fact is, and I think people are going to love it.
Well, it's kind of embarrassing a little bit. My fun fact is that when I was...
It's so cute.
I was very small. I was only this size. I was like, I think 3 or 4 years of age, and I was at my auntie's house, and my mother put a kilt on me, and we went to the bus stop to get the bus home, and I was crying. I was crying because my mother put a kilt on me. Here I am now, all grown up, and it's like, I love getting the kilt on. Any excuse to wear the kilt was, yeah, get the kilt on. But when I was first ever tried one, I cried because I thought it was a skirt.
Oh my gosh. And I love that you shared with us in a previous video, one of the fun facts was the pattern of your quilt is your mother's.
Yeah. It's called Ancient Dunlop. My mother is a Dunlop, her side of the family. So that's the tartan I wear. There's loads of different flavors within each tartan. You get red ones, blue ones, white ones, green ones. I chose a really nice blue. If anybody's interested, it's called Ancient Dunlop. If you go and check it up, it's a beautiful blue tartan. that's the one I wear, is a kind of homage to my mother, who made me wear the kilt all those years ago, and I cried.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't wait to do this again next week and to come back to all of this. Once again, for the viewers, please make sure to check out the YouTube channel. There's, I think this is our 12th video. We've been doing quite a few of these. Yeah. So there's a lot that you can go in and watch and certainly learn more from William about expense management and how to do it, and certainly learn more about what he's doing at Schooley Mitchell to help organizations really drive their bottom line and drive their profit. Make sure that you like or you comment or you share on those types of things. We'd love to hear your feedback and love to hear the different topics that you're talking about. And until the next time, we're going to throw it over to Tanya for some traffic.